Anish Dgojgen, Gizautasat and Dejnikas, Bodewatami and Dao, Mang Dotum. Hello, my friends and relatives. I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Helping Woman Gizautasap. I am Potawatomi and from the Loon Clan. And welcome back to Indigenous Food Friday. Today we're going to make one of my absolute favorites, and it's with the Redbuds that I always talk about on TikTok and other social media. We are going to make cornbread with these Redbuds. So if you have a Redbud tree, they're called Eastern Redbuds. They're blooming, they're absolutely exploding right now. Go get you some of the buds. Now you can eat these just as they are. They're of the sweet pea family, so they taste like sweet pea with a little bit of citrus. They're super good for you, packed with all of the ingredients you need for springtime as we're getting out of the winter months. So super, super good for you. For this recipe, we're using about a little under 4 cups, but 4 cups is perfect. And then we have 2 cups of finely ground cornmeal. I have 5 chicken eggs, but they're fairly small. So I would say if you're using like large grade A eggs from the grocery store, probably 4. If you're using duck eggs, 2. Traditionally we'd use duck eggs, but I don't have ducks, I only have chickens. So I'm using 5 of my chicken eggs. For you, it'd probably be 4. Then we'll have a little bit of baking soda, maple vinegar. If you don't have maple vinegar, you can use apple cider vinegar, but if you can get your hands on some maple vinegar, you'll love it. Some sunflower oil and a cup of maple syrup. If you don't have maple syrup, or for some weird reason you don't like maple syrup, you can use honey instead, or if you just prefer honey in your cornbread, you can use honey, but I'm using 1 cup of maple syrup. So let's get started. Now go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and that can be preheating while we make this. I'm using my food processor, my mixer, stand-up mixer, but use whatever you have, whether it's a whisk or a spoon or your automatic stuff, whatever you have. So first we're just going to start with the eggs. We want to mix those up so they're nice and airy and creamy. My chickens are going crazy this time of year. They absolutely love springtime, just like I do. And so they are giving me some gorgeous, gorgeous eggs. And if you're able to have chickens or ducks, I highly recommend it because they pay you back in food. And they eat all the ticks in my yard. I live in Tennessee and we have ticks all the time. It's absolutely horrible. So now I'm just going to go ahead and mix these eggs up. If you, again, if you don't have a food processor or a stand-up mixer, that's fine. You can use a hand mixer, your whisk, whatever. You just want it mixed really, really well so it looks nice and creamy. So probably 2 to 3 minutes on this, 5 minutes if you're using a hand whisk. So I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you back here, and then we'll start doing some close-ups. Okay, so welcome back. And here we've mixed this for about 2 to 3 minutes. You can see how creamy and just a little frothy it is. So perfect. From here, we're going to add 1 cup of our maple syrup. And again, if you'd rather use honey, that's totally fine too. And that's an indigenous ingredient, so perfect. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of maple cider or maple vinegar. If you don't have maple vinegar, go ahead and use apple cider vinegar. And then you're going to want to add 3/4 of a cup of sunflower oil. If you don't have sunflower oil, you can use regular vegetable oil. But sunflower oil is tasteless. It's super thin and light. And it's indigenous, so perfect. And it's really good for you. It's very, it's very low in cholesterol, so it's heart friendly. So now we're gonna mix this to get it all incorporated, and just a little bit. It won't take long at all. Okay, from here we are going to add a generous pinch of salt. This is probably like a teaspoon of salt. I know I'm baking, so I should be using measure, and I am trying. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. See, so I'm improving. Okay, we're going to mix this a little bit longer just to get everything incorporated. Okay, so now it's time for the cornmeal, and it's super finely grained. You don't really want the coarsely ground for this. You want more of the really soft grain. And I just add it a scoopful at a time so that there's no lumps. So go ahead and add that, and we're going to mix it. Beautiful. And then add another scoop and 2, and mix. It's looking nice. Okay, and then we're going to finish mixing that. And then this is the point where you're going to need a spatula just to push down, you know, the cornmeal that is stuck to the side. And then mix it again. Okay. And you can tell it's almost like pancake batter, and that's what you want. The corn is going to absorb the liquid, the eggs and the vinegar that's in there and the oil. So you don't want it super, super thick, or it's going to be really grainy. And we don't that. We want a really soft and moist bread. So now at this point, we're going to add in our flours. Now on the buds, you want to make sure to rinse them. Make sure you don't have any stems or bugs in there. So rinse it well and then dry it. And then we're going to go ahead and add. Now for this part, well, I should have taken this out first because I'm just going to use the whisk to fold it in. So I'm going to move this aside, or not the whisk, I'm going to use my spatula. Words are hard for me today. So and then you're just going to gently fold this in so that you don't hurt any of the flours. And you can see with the contrast of the yellow corn and the beautiful bright pink flowers, it's really a beautiful combination. And you just want to fold them in so that it's all incorporated, all the flowers are in and moistened. There, that's perfect. Okay, so I have 1 loaf pan. I don't even know the measurements. It's about this wide. I think if just any kind of loaf pan, as long as it's not the mini loaves, or you could do the mini loaves and just do more, or I've even used like muffin tins before and just made little muffins. And I'm just going to put in a little bit of sunflower oil. It doesn't need much because there's already oil in there. And then just spread it around with clean hands. Especially the corners, that's where you need it the most. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to pour in our beautiful batter. Beautiful. This is absolutely perfect. And then I just shake it a little bit just to get it all even. And now we're going to bake this in a 400-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes, or until it's all done. And you can check its doneness by inserting a toothpick, and then you take it out, and if it's clean, it doesn't have any batter on it, then you know it's done. If it's not, if it still has batter to it, then it's not and it needs a little bit more. Or you can touch it and it will be springy, and then we want the top kind of golden. So I'm going to throw this in the oven, 400 degrees, 25 to 30 minutes, and then I'll meet you back here. And here we are. Look how beautiful that is. Now, I did go a little bit longer. I probably went a total of 35 minutes, and I'm going to show you how to do the test. So you have a clean toothpick. You're going to put it in the center, straight down, all the way down, and then pull it up. If it comes out clean, then it's done. If there's batter stuck to it, then it's not done. And it's also a beautifully dark, dark golden all the way around. Now I'm going to let this sit and cool for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll turn it over and I'll cut a slice for you. So 10 minutes, meet you back here. Okay, so now I did go ahead and loosen it up along the sides just with a knife, just to make it a little bit easier to turn over. And it's still pretty warm, so I'm still using oven mitts. Oh, look how gorgeous that looks. I mean, it's perfectly dark golden all the way around. Okay, now carefully, I'm just going to cut. And make a slice. And look how beautiful that is. So beautiful. And then this is amazing with, of course, if you want to bring things into the modern era a little bit, you could use, you know, put some honey on there, but or even butter, but I like to just put some honey on it if I need a little extra sweetness. But really it won't need much, because you've got the vinegar in there for the tanginess, and then the flowers with the citrus and the sweet pea flavor. And then the maple syrup or honey is already in there, so you really don't need much to add to this. But isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Yes. So here you are. I hope you enjoyed today. I really enjoyed it. I hope you go outside and try some redbud blossoms if you haven't yet, because they're absolutely delicious and jam-packed with nutrition. And you know, during the winter months we hibernate. We're eating a lot of dried and processed foods and preserved foods, so if you can get out and get your cedar tea and get your red blossoms, you're going to feel so much better. It helps your whole body to detox. And then try some redbud cornbread. It's absolutely amazing. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and until next time, Bon Appetit.